interaction during the visit of elders of the pandemic. I recall very vividly, if Nigerian population has not forgotten, that I did grant an interview to AIT sometime November 2023, when Mr. President was to intervene in the crisis of Rivers State. And I did mention to them that I am not expecting anything positive. And today I still hold that view. I said so then, and I still maintain it now, because Mr. President and the present Minister of the Federal Capital Territory shares a lot of commonalities, both in attitude, in character, and in operation. They are both politically very rascally. They have an insatiability in terms of accumulation of wealth, and also have a non-limited ambition of manipulating and indeed controlling humans. But one thing they also share that is interesting, that both of them fears a lot. They all fear, they fear a lot. When once they are so confronted. Else, how will Mr. President say that sin disobeyed the 8-point agenda, if not for these commonalities I have mentioned? I did mention it, I did reveal to Nigerians after the visit that I was there, that Mr. President said everything that Sim need to do as governor. And when Adoge Amesmaka asked the question, his reply tells us that it was already by us, that the invitation was to give us a smiling and polite insult. But one thing he said very clearly is that these 27 lawmakers have crossed the Red Sea, and they can never come back. But the meeting started with condemnation of the governor. This is an insult to democracy. This is a disgrace to democracy. And these are exact words of the Supreme Court judges. So there's a link, and something is fundamentally wrong. That those 27 lawmakers that he also said have defected and cannot cross the Red Sea come back to say that they are no longer defecting. And Mr. President is clapping his hand for them. Those who, the commissioners that abandoned him, Sim, reappoints them and swear them in. Mr. President says Sim never respected the decision. Salaries were paid to the House of Assembly members at that time. Sim has not responded. Sim went and withdrew all the cases. Whereas behind it, I'm sure Mr. President encouraged the pro-Wike assembly members not to withdraw their cases. That is the case with which they are punishing Rivers State now. So who is fooling who? Who is fooling who? But let me say this. The governor has spoken, and to say that he will respect and comply with all the decisions of the Supreme Court, and he has started. That is saving Rivers State, that is saving Nigeria, because of his peaceful disposition. But for Wike to transcend from that political conflict and find himself now swimming in a very deep ocean of ethnic condemnation and ethnic threat is very unfortunate on his part. Let me say this, a lot of Nigerians do not know. What we say is that it's Jonathan and his wife, Ejopo, that made him president. It's Ejopo that made him local government chairman. When he was first elected to be the candidate of the PDP, PDP National wrote to Rivers State that he's not their candidate. It's your son, Dr. Sam Jaja, I'm quoting him, that insisted that he will not take directive from the PDP National Headquarters, that the only people that can direct him is the state PDP. And that is how Wike contested and won local government chairman in his first tenure. It's an adjustment. So sometimes when people talk, I even laugh. He said he has helped the people. No, he was only trying to repay them for what they have done. They laid the foundation for him to be what he is. He was only trying to repay them. And that is his status. And that is one status that Mr. President and him also share. They don't forgive. They have the spirit of revengeance. We can never forget that experience. Then the last experience has to do with the issue of the presidential ambition he had and he failed. So his vow is a revenge on PDP, and PDP will never know peace for that. And that is one attribute of Mr. President. So we must know this. But above all, I must say, and that will interest Nigerians, is the fact that Mr. President plays the politics of divide and rule. When he was governor of Lagos State, all the local government has 2 leaders at a particular time. So that way he controlled the reality of the two. He will appear to be working with him. He will appear to be working with. That is it. The current problem in Lagos State of Assembly exactly is his handwork. We know this in politics. It's divide and rule. It's time for him to divide loyalty of APC in Lagos so that at the end of the day, he's in control. Because he was aware that the governor of Lagos State, one way or the other, contributed to the fundraising of Atiku. So from that day, he declared him an enemy. We know this. We in PDP, we know this. And so it's time for him to say that this man cannot be 100% trusted and be loyal, so he's doing that. So what I'm saying in essence is that Mr. President has created a problem in Rivers State with his political tactics of divide and rule. Wike, as in his own turn, now dive himself to ethnic threat, ethnic harassment that can swallow him any day, anytime. And I said that because without a jaw, he will be nothing. And he cannot bite the finger that fed you. One sin that God never forget is that of ingratitude. Wike is an ungrateful person. He uses people and he dumps them. Sometimes Jaja made him a local government chairman. That is the springboard with which he is whatever today. Jonathan helped him to become governor. Governor. That is the springboard with which he is now working as a minister. Jonathan appointed him a minister for the first time as a German. That popularized him and gave him the spread in Nigeria. So for him to now say that these people are minorities of minority, they are useless, they cannot win election, I believe that he has 48 hours to rescind that. Else some of us will be forced, not minding the barriers and not minding the fact that some of us also have the DNA of being liquidated. We will be able to let him know. But Nigerians should know that